November 2025, the Pakistan Navy carried out another test of its ship-launched anti-ship ballistic missile, locally known as the FATAH-II Smash. According to official statements from Pakistan, this missile is presented as an indigenous system designed to strike both maritime and land-based targets. It reportedly features modern guidance technology, a terminal maneuvering capability, and a maximum range of around 350 kilometers. Pakistani officials claim that the missile is still under development and emphasize that it is meant only for domestic operational requirements. However, as soon as the test was announced, Pakistan's strategic commentator groups and defense bloggers began promoting the Smash as a so-called carrier killer, a weapon that could offset India's naval superiority and challenge the presence of Indian aircraft carriers in the Indian Ocean. But when we place the FATAH-II in real operational conditions, the hype surrounding this missile exposes a very uncomfortable truth. The Pakistan Navy is attempting to fight a modern naval battle with a capability that is still far from practical effectiveness, essentially bringing a knife to a gunfight. The biggest vulnerability of the Smash missile is its limited range and lack of independent targeting capability. Since it does not carry an active seeker, meaning it cannot guide itself onto a moving target in the final phase, it depends entirely on the launching ship's sensors, which must get uncomfortably close to the target. A launch distance of 350 kilometers may sound significant at first, but in a real naval confrontation with India, this distance is not just insufficient, it is outright dangerous. Indian carrier strike groups and frontline warships maintain strong defensive bubbles that extend far beyond Pakistan's ability to close in safely. Indian Navy destroyers and frigates regularly operate with sophisticated LRSAM and MRSAM air defense systems that create layered protection. These include the MRSAM system with a range of around 110 kilometers, designed specifically to intercept fast incoming targets, both sea-skimming cruise missiles and ballistic trajectory weapons like Smash. If a Pakistani vessel even attempts to approach launch distance, it would already be inside the threat envelope of Indian naval firepower. In practical terms, the launching ship would almost certainly be destroyed before it could release the missile, and even if a FATAH-II missile somehow manages to break through the outer layers of Indian defense, warships equipped with the MF-Star radar can respond by launching Barak-1 missiles for close-range interception. So the Pakistani missile would face not one, but multiple layers of integrated air defense, both from individual ships and from the entire battle group working in coordination. Modern Indian naval groups operate as a single networked force, sharing radar data and engaging threats cooperatively, which further reduces the chance of any incoming missile getting through. The imbalance becomes even clearer when we examine what India already deploys. Indian Navy warships are outfitted with the BrahMos missile, one of the fastest and most capable anti-ship cruise missiles in the world. BrahMos travels at Mach 3, compared to Smash, which follows a ballistic arc with predictable motion. The latest extended-range BrahMos variants now exceed 450 kilometers, with some tests reaching even further. Unlike the FATAH-II, BrahMos has extreme terminal sea-skimming capability, complex maneuverability, and can be fired from ships, submarines, coastal batteries, and fighter jets. The flexibility and lethality of BrahMos create an offensive advantage that Smash cannot match in any conceivable battle scenario. This is why analysts describe the situation as lopsided even before the conflict begins. The FATAH-II looks intimidating on paper, but in reality it depends on perfect weather conditions, perfect detection, perfect targeting, and a perfectly exposed enemy ship. BrahMos, on the other hand, requires only a simple firing opportunity, and because of its speed, range, and maneuvering abilities, that opportunity is far easier to achieve. Moreover, the FATAH-II belongs to a growing list of Pakistani weapons that were heavily marketed but failed to deliver meaningful strategic value. Similar hype surrounded systems like the FATAH-I, which was called an S-400 killer, and the CM-400 AKG, promoted as an Indian carrier killer. The latter ultimately performed poorly in real combat trials and was criticized internationally. These patterns expose a recurring issue: exaggerated claims without corresponding capability, especially when facing modern, networked, high-end militaries like India's, Smash itself is heavily influenced by Chinese ASBM design templates, especially systems that have limited export potential. Like the CM-400 AKG, it struggles with basic operational challenges, range, real-time targeting, survivability of the launching ship, and the shrinking window of opportunity in a modern naval battle space. These weaknesses do not match up to the layered defense architecture deployed by the Indian Navy. Pakistani defense commentary can continue branding the P-282 as a carrier killer or a strategic game changer. But naval warfare is not about slogans or marketing, it's about launch conditions, real-world survivability, and actual probability of hitting a target. And in all three areas, Smash faces a steep uphill battle when the Indian Navy operates with longer-range offensive missiles, advanced phased array sensors, integrated battle groups, and multi-layered surface-to-air missile umbrellas. Pakistan's latest ASBM risks becoming just another overhyped platform. In any real confrontation, it would be outranged, outsensed, and outgunned long before it becomes a threat.